Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Malik here with 2 R's, and I am back with another video for you guys today. For those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Malik. I am a freshman psychology major with a business marketing minor from Trenton, New Jersey, and I do attend Morehouse College. Yeah, for those of you who don't know what Morehouse is a all-male liberal arts college that, is heavily focused around creating Black men that will eventually take over the world. Because Morehouse produces nothing but excellence, and although we are number 4 or 5 on the HBCU rankings list, we should be number 1. Basically, what this video is going to consist of is me giving out 10 tips and tricks to ensure that you have a good time your first semester, while also making sure that you're on that road to that 4.0 GPA, and by the end of your first semester you have that 4.0 GPA, because it's very much attainable. I just want to make sure that all of you guys come in making sure that your first semester you're securing that 4.0 spot, and making sure that every semester going forward from your first semester at whatever college you choose, making sure that you get that 4.0. All while having fun, balancing a social life, and just overall being that girl or that guy. Okay guys, so if you see me looking down, I have my iPad right here, and I like take notes and everything to make sure that I don't forget any of the 10 that I wrote down. Okay, so the first thing that I felt helped me my first semester is organization. And I would really like to applaud myself on this, because in high school, I did not have no sense of organization, but I made sure that I met every due date with my assignment. I utilized a free planning app called Google Calendar, which many of you may be aware of. And sort of what I did with that was, I put in all of my classes, in the breaks in between, I made sure to put what I will be doing in between those breaks. I write down everything. I plan out my whole day from the wake up. In the beginning of my calendar, it'll say something like wake up, go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, shower, and breakfast, class, or it might be something like breakfast, think about your day, plan out your day, go to class, and then if I have a break in between classes, I will put down what I'm doing in between those breaks. Because, for example, between those breaks, I could be, editing content, or I should just be doing something more productive. Whereas if I don't have that, or my day, all laid out and planned, I'm going to feel out of place, and I'm just going to be going along with the flow of the day. But if you have a plan and you maintain and you stick to that plan, you will do perfectly fine. There'll be times where I'm doing something I know I should not be doing because I should be studying instead, and I'll look down at my phone and it'll be like 11:45 a.m. study, and I'll be like, oh, I'm out here talking out on the street like to my friends, or I'm out at the caf, chatting it up, even though I'm done eating when I should be studying. Even if you don't, listen to the reminders, it's good to know that you're off track, and now you need to substitute that time that you were supposed to spend doing the studies, and you need to substitute that with the other free time that you had later on that day after your classes. So I just found that Google Calendar was an app that really just secured my mental well-being, to be honest, because I'm a person, if I do not feel on track or I do not feel organized, I just feel all over the place, and my days just don't go as smoothly. So although I wouldn't tend to these schedules every single day, it just was good to know that my whole day was mapped out. And then also too, it will help you throughout your matriculation through college. So the next thing that I have on this list is time management. And also, like, a little side note that I have next to that is this semester will test how worthy you are of saying no and putting your work first. Let me say that again. This semester will test how worthy you are of saying no and putting your work first. Because there have been times where all my friends be like, oh, Malik, where you at? Where you at? Where you at? You're supposed to be outside. And I needed discipline. Sometimes I will go outside, I'm not going to lie. But we're going to get into that later in the video. But also at the same time, there were times where I had to say no, where I had to go to that library instead of going to that party because I know that I didn't manage my time well. So I would say overall, managing your time well will prevent you having time overflow, I would say. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, if you miss something on your schedule, or like something productive that you were supposed to do, now later on in that day, you're going to have to take that time to do that thing out of your free time. Whereas if you just managed your time correctly and stuck with your schedule, you wouldn't have to do that. And that eventually creates overflow, because like you're dipping and dabbing, you're dipping into different times that you weren't supposed to be, you're doing things at different times, and it's just, your schedule is getting all jumbled. So I would definitely say time management definitely helped me, and especially being that coming in as a freshman, I am in a decent amount of organizations already, And I want to do different things on campus. So I just felt like time management, and especially having a Google Calendar with times of everything that I need to do, was just extremely helpful for me. And I could say I'm never like y'all after this, like I know that I'm like low-key an adult now, like I'm 18, but when I get older, I'm mapping out my days. I'm gonna have a dry erase board, all of that, because it just feels so good and great to be organized and to manage your time correctly. Number 3 thing on this list is I have in all caps YOLO. Because going to those parties and sometimes staying up late with your friends will create memories that will last forever. After you finish that schoolwork, you need to be outside. You're going to be to yourself, right? Because you don't want to go out of your way to make new friends. It's embarrassing. You're scared, yada, yada, yada. Everybody's feeling the same thing that you're feeling. And you cannot tell me different. Everybody's coming into college scared. Oh, am I going to make friends? Oh, should I go up to her? She looks nice. Should I go up to him? He looks cool. Do it. Because at the end of the day, everybody's thinking the same thing. Everybody's afraid. At the end of the day, there have been people that came up to me and I was like, oh, you ate that. Because I knew I wouldn't go up to them. But now, I'm gonna go up to you even if I don't know you. Like, it was never nothing to pop over there and say, hey, what's up? Next thing I have on this list is reflection. At the end of the week, reevaluate yourself and pinpoint what you could be doing less of and how you can be better the following week. So for example, if this week you were waking up late, weren't managing your time well, etc., make it your duty to be better the following week. Because why would you knowingly do the same thing again the following week if you didn't like what you did the past week? At one point, you got to get on that Zoom. You got to make sure that you're bettering yourself and not waiting until the new year to be like, oh, the next year I'm going to do that. No, it starts now. You need to have friends that balance both a social life and schoolwork. This also ties into surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals. So what I mean by that is you can't have a friend who is a partier 100% of the time. Sure, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday, I don't know. I'm not partying on no Sunday. Sure, go to a party, but is your friend's schoolwork done? Is your schoolwork done? And if it's not, then you should be asking yourself, I mean, when is it going to get done if you're going to be doing all this partying? And what I meant by having a friend that's like-minded is if your friend is 100% of a partier, but you're a studier, 9 times out of 10, your friend is going to be bugging you like, come to this party with me, come to this party with me. And it's natural you're going to give in because of peer pressure. And that's your friend. You're going to want to go with them to make sure that they're good and that you have a good time as well. But at some point, it has to stop. At some point, it has to stop. You need to think for yourself. You need to plant those feet down and stand on business. And if you go to every single party, you're not standing on business. You're not. And you need a friend that has discipline and knows when it's time to party and when it's time to knuckle down and go to that library and study. Next thing on this list is being open to making new friends, but not being naive. So being conscious that not everyone will be a good friend. So when I came into Morehouse, I had a lot of friends because we had something called the Spellhouse 27 chat. And I was Spelman College and Morehouse College combined all in one group chat on Instagram. And it wasn't everyone because we only had like 245 people or something like that. But it was a lot of people in one group chat. Therefore, you were friends, or I was friends with a lot of people from that group chat. But I then had to realize, and even realizing from other people's experiences that I'm close with now, with certain people, everybody is not your brother, everybody is not your sister. That is a hard pill to swallow because yes, you want to believe that everyone is a good person, but genuinely, in order for you to thrive on a college campus, you have to be aware that everybody is not. And that was just extremely important for me to realize, or just to witness, because I already knew, because from high school people are weird, so I already came into college with my guard up. Yes, I'll be at functions, I had a social life, or I have a social life, but at the same time I'm still keeping that eye open, like, hold on, I got my eye on you until otherwise. So I just think that it's extremely important for you to know that you cannot trust everyone, and you need to be on your P's and Q's until you find those people around you that you whose spots are secured around you, because you're going to come across some weird people. You're going to hear some things about weird people, but it's up to you what you do with that information, whether you take a mental note and just be like, okay, let me make sure I stay away from her, etc. Because there are people that I see that I might hug and say, hey, to, hey, boo, but I know in the back of my head, oh, she weird or he's weird. I'm not going to, have them in my circle. I'm not going to have them in my coop. Making your room comfortable enough to chill in, but also make it schoolwork accessible. And what I mean by that is there's some people in my dorm, they have some comfortable rooms, y'all. And when I say comfortable, I mean comfortable. Like I could just go in there and be out real quick because it's super comfortable, nice soft carpets, yada, yada, yada. And of course, it's important to have that so your room eats down and, it fits your aesthetic and you're comfortable being in there. But to a certain extent, you don't want to make your room too comfortable because then you're not going to be able to do your schoolwork in it. Well, this is for me personally, what I found. But if your desk is like, wipe clean and everything for schoolwork, it's not cluttered, and you just have a clean space overall, and your room isn't too comfortable, if you know what I mean, then you should be fine working in your room. But me personally, I find that I'm not somebody who could really work well in a room. Like I've tried and it just does not work. It does not work at all. There will be a ton of lash techs, barbers, makeup artists, estheticians, and people that have their own businesses and constant flow of income. But my main thing is don't compare yourself to them because you're doing what you need to be doing just by being in college. All these people, or a lot of people, they have clothing brands and things. They're content creators, real big content creators. And they have sort of, from what you could tell, they have their stuff figured out. And I would say that you do so as well, because if you didn't, you really wouldn't, be in college. So my thing is don't compare yourself to people because you will find yourself in a big black hole, especially for me going to the school in the AUC. There's people doing great 24/7 around me. 24/7 around me. But I'm not going to compare myself to them because I know that I'm on a road to success. Another thing that I have on here, y'all, is money. Make sure you save and have a job before school starts because trust me, you will need a lot of it. So do not depend on that GoFundMe or that Amazon wish list because you're going to need some income, babe. You're going to want to Uber. You're going to want to hop in an Escalade. In an Escalade. So make sure you have some money to ride in the Escalade to Target. Make sure you have money for Target. You work and save because you're going to want to do things. Especially for me, going to school in Atlanta, very hard for me to stay on that campus because there's Linux. Linux is like 30 minutes away. Linux Mall, yeah, and they have everything. So when you want to pop over to Linux or you want to pop over to the nearest mall by your school, but you only have enough money for the Uber ride there and back, that's not a good look either. So I really recommend or strongly recommend, saving up some money and having y'all need to do what I didn't. Have a graduation party. I'm not really a big party person. Have a graduation party because all them aunties and uncles, all of that, they will come and they're going to drop that money on you. And if they're not dropping that money on you, make sure that you have that Amazon registry link. Make sure you have that Amazon registry link accessible to them because I'm telling you, I didn't have to buy lots of things for my room at all. At all. Next thing that I have is, in closing, go to class enough for your teacher to know who you are. It builds relationship for the times you may accidentally not be there. And what I mean by that, you're going to have an 8 a.m. and you're going to stay up late one night because you were studying, I hope. You were studying and you stayed up to 4 a.m. studying. And you went to bed thinking that you was going to wake up for this 8 a.m. and you didn't. But if you normally go to class, your professor knows who you are. Your professor isn't going to really care that much per se because they're like, oh, I know that you come to class. I know that you owe your stuff. And I know it's not like you to miss class. My professors, they, did this fellowship. They were intern here when they were in college or they worked here in the past, yada, yada, yada. But professors be knowing people, so they could easily just plug you in. But if you're a bad student, and you come to them asking for that, they're not going to, offer you up because you're not doing well in that class. And then another thing that I wanted to say, y'all, do not take no 8 a.m. Don't take no 8 a.m. No. And I know, trust me, you used to come in. I hear you right now. I used to wake up at 5 a.m. for high school and get ready and eat breakfast and work out and yada, yada, yada. In college, it is not the same. And that is a hard pill to swallow, because when I heard people say that in them college videos or just overall, I was like, oh, I'll be able to wake up for that 8 a.m. No. College is a different type of 8 a.m. You're going to be exhausted from your days. Even if you have 2 classes or 2 to 4 classes, you're going to be exhausted. It's just that these classes take so much out of you, and just like a college day is a lot. Do not take no 8 a.m. Please. Please do not. And you're going to thank me later. Or what you're going to do is you're going to watch this video, and then you're going to go take an 8 a.m. You're going to say never again, like I did. You're never going to do it again. But you guys, I wanted to say thank you so much for tuning into this video, and I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I tried to, give it as much personality as possible, and, really just to make this video personable and to really just sit down with y'all as a college freshman who just completed their first semester of college. So I just wanted to give you guys some tips and tricks, especially if we're going over to Morehouse. I'm gonna make sure to, tag Morehouse and loop it in, so when you search up Morehouse College, this video pops up, because these are things that you guys need to know. You definitely need to know this coming into Morehouse, because hopefully maybe you could practice some of the things that I mentioned, like time management and organization, while you're in high school still. Guys, don't forget to follow my Instagram, social media, all of that, and comment video suggestions in the description, whether you want to DM me on Instagram, whether you want to iMessage me, just, hit me with those ideas and everything. And let me know if you guys like these college videos, especially for the new viewers that are going to college or that are early in college. Let me know if you like these types of videos. I kind of like or enjoy making them, because, I don't know, I like giving tips and tricks. But without further ado, you guys, Malik Xavier with 2 R's is out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
She just let me know, but it's sure